Welcome to the Minnesota Migrant Education Program Overview. This training will give you basic information about the Minnesota Migrant Education Program and the migratory lifestyle. For information about the Minnesota Migrant Education Program, check out our website, www.tvoc.org, our Facebook page, or you can contact us on our Minnesota Migrant Education Program hotline, 1-800-890-4853. The Migrant Education Program is 100% federally funded through Title I Part C Education of Migratory Children. The program ensures migratory children have access to all federal, state, and locally supported services on the same basis as other children. The funding is intended to supplement existing programs. It cannot supplant. Migratory children are categorically eligible to receive free school meals based on their eligibility in the Migrant Education Program. The purpose of the Migrant Education Program is to address unique educational needs of migratory children, assist in overcoming educational disruption, ensure students receive full and appropriate opportunities to meet the same challenging content standards, and not to penalize the students for the different disparities among the state's educational systems. Our migratory students travel from state to state and school to school, and there are so many differences in each educational system. You could be the link that they need. You can advocate for them and make sure that they are getting what they need to be successful. While talking to children and families, listen for indicators to determine if they may be eligible for the Migrant Education Program, MEP. Some of the indicators include if a parent or guardian has worked in agricultural work due to economic necessity. Examples of this type of work include seasonal work like picking rock, packing corn or peas, or temporary work like milking cows, processing eggs, and caring for pigs. The child or youth, and remember, they can be age 0 through 21, has moved across district lines within 3 years and has not graduated. They don't have to move with the parent or guardian. They could come before the parent or they could come after. The youth could be the agricultural worker or could be the parent or guardian. If you hear of any of these indicators, please fill out a recruitment request in order for a regional recruiter from Tri-Valley Opportunity Council to determine if the child or youth is eligible for the Migrant Education Program. Migratory students move from many other states to Minnesota, but the majority of our students move here from southern Texas. Migratory families come to Minnesota due to economic need. They work in agricultural labor areas that may not be filled by local labor forces. Minnesota farmers and agribusinesses recruit migratory families from other states for their skills and abilities to meet the Minnesota labor needs. Many of our migratory families go to concentrated agricultural labor market areas such as the Red River Valley, Minnesota River Valley, and the southern area of the state. However, migratory families may move to any location in Minnesota to find work. Qualifying work includes seasonal and temporary jobs. In Minnesota, the top qualifying activity is packing, cleaning, and hauling peas. Migratory families also come to Minnesota to work with corn, picking rocks, harvesting sugar beets, milking and caring for dairy cows, caring for poultry, packing radishes, and caring for pigs, among many other activities. This list is not conclusive. Please contact us if you are unsure if an activity qualifies. Qualifying arrival dates are the dates that students have made a qualifying move to our state and have been identified. In May, June, July, and August, we have the majority of our qualifying arrival dates. In October and November, many of our families leave the state, but as you can see, throughout every single month of the year, there are qualifying arrival dates within the state of Minnesota. So students are moving around from district to district or state to state every month of the year. Some of the challenges that our migratory families face include physical hazards, isolation, family separation, poverty, limited formal education of parents, and language and cultural barriers. The migratory student may have frequent changes in residency, chronic absenteeism, move before the school year ends, large gaps in missed instructional and assessment time, deficiency of credits towards graduation, lack of access to resources, language and cultural barriers, difficulty performing at grade level, and emotional challenges adapting to new environments. Migratory students may also be resilient, talented, multilingual, and may be able to share numerous experiences about things others in your school may not be familiar with. Work with your student to discover his or her strengths and help them to become part of the community. Migratory out-of-school youth, or OSY, who work in agriculture or fishing rather than attending school are at an even greater risk of failing to obtain the level of education required to succeed in life. OSY may travel with families, an older relative, or a crew chief. They may travel in small groups and sometimes alone. They face all the obstacles to education encountered by other migratory students, plus additional challenges. They are seldom connected with the community in which they live, and as a result, the MEP may be their only link to education, support, and the medical services that they need. The Migrant Education Program can serve children and youth not older than 21 years of age who have not graduated or obtained a GED. In Minnesota, there are 3 agencies that support migratory students: the Minnesota Department of Education, MDE, the Midwest Migrant Educational Resource Center, MERC, and Tri-Valley Opportunity Council, TVOC. Now let's take a closer look at what these agencies do. The Minnesota Department of Education provides technical assistance and resources to ensure effective administration of migrant education programs which adhere to federal requirements. The Minnesota Department of Education has added Migrant Liaison to the contact list in MDE-org. Districts should contact their Iowa to add a Migrant Liaison to the list. That person will be our go-to person when we have information or questions about migratory students. This is a very important role. Students that have been determined eligible for the Minnesota Migrant Education Program, MEP, should not be charged for meals at school. The school may need to refund the family or clear their account if they were charged for meals after the COE was approved if they are still within the 3 years of eligibility. The School Food Authority must keep documentation of the effective date, migratory child's enrollment into MEP. This date is provided by Tri-Valley Opportunity Council. The Migrant Liaison facilitates the collection of information that must be reported to MDE through TVOC. We will look in MDE-org for the person that is listed as the Migrant Liaison for the school district, and that person will be our point of contact. The Minnesota Department of Education has added a Secure Migrant Identified Student Report. This report is available for districts to view students that have been determined eligible for the Migrant Education Program within the past 3 years. Remember, there could still be students in your district that are eligible for MEP, but are not on the report because they had never been identified. Your help in identifying possible eligible families is crucial. Districts and charter schools should use this information to ensure continuity of services for migratory students who often have interrupted education. Information for the Secure Report is pulled from MIS 2000, which is Minnesota's migrant database. MERC, the Midwest Migrant Education Resource Center, is a lending library for any staff working with a migratory student. The process is simple. You choose the materials and resources you want. They send them to you to use for free. For more information, contact Rhonda Isaacs. Liddy Guzman is the Secondary Director for the Minnesota Migrant Education Program. She works closely with the Texas Migrant Interstate Program, TMIP. TMIP is available to use as a resource when working with students moving to or from Texas. For questions about secondary migratory students, credit recovery, student placement, or out-of-state assessments, contact Liddy. Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Migrant Education Services is contracted by the Minnesota Department of Education. We provide training and access to MIS 2000, which is the state's migrant database, M6, which is the national migrant database, MSIF, which is the Migratory Student Information Form, and the Summer Program Services Report, which is the SPSR. We collect all of the minimum data elements for every migratory student in the state of Minnesota, which is federally required. We manage the data for the Migrant Education Program, and we also provide professional development and training and identify and recruit all eligible migratory students in the state of Minnesota. A possible indicator that a family may be eligible for the Migrant Education Program is if in the past 3 years anyone in the family moved so they could actively engage in agricultural work. If you think a family may be eligible for the MEP, With their permission, go to the Tri-Valley Opportunity Council webpage, www.tvoc.org, go to Services, then Migrant Education Services, and then click on Recruitment Request. We will then have a certified migrant liaison or regional recruiter follow up with you to determine the next steps. When Minnesota collects information for each migratory student, it gets entered into MIS 2000, Minnesota's Migrant Education Program data system, and then uploaded nightly into M6. M6 is the Migrant Student Information Exchange. It is a national database of migrant student information and it allows states to share educational and health information. It communicates with existing migrant student information systems that states currently use to manage their migrant data to fulfill its mission to ensure the appropriate enrollment, placement, and accrual of credits for migratory children nationwide. It receives nightly uploads of the data that's stored in MIS 2000 for the state of Minnesota. If you would like more information, go to www.tvoc.org. Click on Services, go to Migrant Education Program, and then there you will find our contact information, information about the Minnesota Department of Education Migrant Education Program, our recruitment request, our resource request, and our COE request. If you would like more training, you could also fill out the training request. These are simple forms that can be filled out in a matter of minutes. For more information about our workshops, check out our Making Connections workshop section. We will keep updated workshop information there. Information about M6, reporting, MERC, and helpful resources are also available. Through this training, we hope that you have learned more about the unique educational needs of migratory children. Together, we are hoping to be able to overcome educational disruption, cultural and language barriers, social isolation, various health-related problems, and other factors that inhibit the ability of such children to succeed in school. Thank you so much for joining us.